What's going on, Cancer? I salute the divinity in you, and welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling energetic. I hope you're getting ready to start up this lunar cycle. This just right, just coming in with big energy. We got this new moon that's going to be happening in Leo, and the tone. And really, I've been noticing this, and just like with a lot of astrologers talk about this. Fun, and I really think that we could all really benefit from that. So let's have some fun in this video here, Cancer. And if you've not met me before, my name is Justin, and yes, welcome to the Chariot Friends. And on this video, or in these videos, I like to, this is for, as you see, I'm trying to, well, for those of you who are new, I'm trying to do some sort of revision here with this intro, still a work in progress. But this is for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, wherever Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based on our ruler here, the good old moon. And I talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going void of course, all of those lunar shenanigans, and just a great old time here. So, oh, but before we jump into that, I don't think I'm going to leave that part out. Just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what fits into your story, discard the rest, and everything will be dope. Cancer and everything will be a lot more fluid, I promise. It's just something, let's just jump into it. And it's that time. Since we're getting ready to come up on this new moon, we're busting out the chart. And we're going to get to see a lot. And this is a pretty lighter chart. I really like this energy that we're going to be into, how we're starting off this lunar cycle. Granted, it's going to be, it'll definitely, the energies will start picking up, start ramping up. But this can be a time of just really just play, of just respite. I was actually doing some volunteering the other day. Well, when I'm recording this, it would have been today when I went. And there was this guy, he was like trying to poke at this other guy, and the other guy was like, it was almost like watching brothers. Like the one was trying to poke him, but the other was like trying to force him, and then he was just like, go a little stronger, and then the other guy's like pushed his hand and was like, what are we, 6? And I was just like, that's perfect. Absolutely. We need to go back to like when we were 6. But, well, you may not think of that at first, because depending on when you're watching this, happy Saturn Day. Let me stop. Saturn is associated with Saturday. And Saturn days are a great day for getting things done. Normally, that's the weekend. That's the time when you usually want to go out, have a picnic, do whatever that you're doing. And you can do those things. But it is a great day for if you've had been putting off some stuff during the week. Maybe you had some laundry that's got your name on it. Maybe you got some papers that need to get signed, some bills that need to get worked out, whatever sort of like kind of tedious sort of like sort of chore. This can be a great day for just because you have that support of Saturn to get that kind of drudgery sort of done, to get the like, I know I'm going to feel way better and feel more accomplished after I do that. So let Saturn Day be a day of uplift. It could be a real productive day when we're talking about with Saturn. Now, you can take it easy, absolutely. If you've been like on a real hectic week, that'd be something too, working and being disciplined and taking some time off, taking some time to see how you are doing, especially with Saturn being in Pisces, just checking your energy levels, making sure that you are getting enough rest, that you are honoring your spiritual practices, checking in with your energies, with your emotions, considering too, when we're talking about Pisces, how you're moving through emotions, how we may be escaping from the day-to-day, and how we may escape from even doing the just sort of the everyday things that we need to do. So Saturn can be a friend. He could be that friend that just like helps you get yourself together. That one that you call, he really helps you out. Now, this is going to be kind of a busy day. Before I get to talking about this chart, this is going to be a pretty busy weekend, because tomorrow on the 4th, that'll be on Sunday, Venus will be entering into Virgo at about 7:23 p.m. And I really like this, because what I feel with this how we're having this new moon, because the new moon's what's going to start off the 4th. And once I feel like set a date, plan for some fun, whatever that looks like for you. Go dancing, go cartwheel out in the park, get a hula hoop, go go get some chalk, maybe color on the sidewalk. I think that'd be a great day for that. Just maybe even encouraging some like neighborhood activities, something like go get whatever that looks like. Maybe go get some canvases, set them outside, and see who comes up and sits with you. That might, just if that resonates. But what I like about how Venus is entering Virgo in this sign is she is associated with like how we experience like beauty and how we attract and how we love. And I feel that this could be with Virgo. This could be a way of how can I incorporate more of this stuff that I love, that I've been enjoying with this moon being in Leo. How can I make that more of a regular thing? How I can get that into my practice. Maybe we're planning weekly things, or maybe we plan like bi-weekly things with some friends, or maybe you just look at the things where you've been kind of lacking fun. In this Venus in Virgo, where she is in fall in Virgo, her energy is weaker there, but it can see how can I restore that weakness. How can I restore that energy? What are some things that can light me up? How can I get into my imagination again? So that's something to, finding practical ways to do that, Virgo, again, to incorporate that in your day. And I think that too, if you're having troubles piecing this together, just hold that intention, because at a couple hours later, at about 9:57 p.m., Mercury is going to station retrograde at about 4 degrees and 6 minutes of Virgo. And if you want to know a little bit more about what's going on with that one, I'm going to go into that in my... Oh, no, I went into that in my previous video in Alchemist 8, so I will leave a... Yeah, remember that. I will leave a link down in the description box for that stuff down there as well. But with Mercury going retrograde, this can be, again, the time to just kind of slow down a little bit. Think about how you maybe want to incorporate more joy, how you want to express yourself more. Leo is that energy of self-expression. It's they usually kind of tie it, and I think sometimes that almost that definition can get a little lost in Leo. It's not, when they say creativity, it's like, it's more so you're tapping into that self-expression. There is a lot of creativity with Leo, but it's those innate abilities that you have. Those things that you don't, it almost seems just like a gift from God in a sense. Like maybe you have a great voice. Maybe you are great with mathematics. Maybe you're a great science whiz. Maybe you're, whatever it is that it is your gift. Maybe you're a writer. Maybe you're a dancer. Explore that. How can you work that more into your everyday, into your routine, and see how that brings more wonder into your life, how that helps regulate your emotions, that can help relieve some of the stress in your day-to-day, and just helps foster creative solutions for when you go into, let's say, your job or to your business or to your web, just into life. You can get inspired, come up with some innovative sort of ideas in things. So really great time, I feel, if you haven't been feeling inspired by life here, and especially if it's been, maybe you feel like it's been a little while since you just felt that sort of like that feeling of being alive, this new moon really supports that. So set that intention, and then we'll check in again, because we'll with these new moons, I've been kind of want to start up something newer here and thinking about long term. Think about this intention. Start that new moon journal, because then we're going to check in again back on this date we'll have that first quarter in Leo. That'll be on May 4th of 2025. So about 9 months from now, we'll check in to see how your fun has been working for you, how you've been, and whatever. This is where you look into your chart too. Look at where the house that this new moon is activating in. Is it landing on any sort of points or anything? So just a couple of things. I know kind of jam-packed to kind of start off the week here, but let's get into the lunar shenanigans. Let's talk about what we really came here for. Now, the moon is going to be entering into Leo at about 4:09 a.m. and that'll be on the 3rd. Then that'll be Pacific time, and this is going to be kind of a lighter couple of days, her moon in Leo. She's only going to form 3 aspects, and that's with the traditional planet. She's going to form these like 3 aspects. So I feel like it's going to be kind of on the emotional front, a bit milder, because I think that this energy really is supporting fun when the moon is in Leo. And considering too that the sun is, domicile right now, sitting here. Hold on, let me circle these 2 all cuddled up. But yes, when the sun is domicile, the moon is really getting that life there in Leo. And so the moon in Leo really does invite this energy of just, again, that feeling alive, that appreciating that present moment. Leos, if you've ever been around someone with a lot of Leo energy, I mean, you see they have a way of just filling up the room. No, even the most boisterous Leos to the quietest Leos, they have this way of just shining. There's just something there that just automatically just raises your vibration. And that's what this moon is offering us to when she's there to. How do you express that light and do it in a way that is unapologetic? Because we want that warmth. We need that warmth with the sun. And I feel like this moon when the moon is in Leo, this is a time to be proud of these skills that you have, and knowing that, I feel like Leo is about this perfect self-expression. And I say that intentionally, because we're in that Virgo energy, and Virgo can be about perfectionism, but it's not aspiring for perfection. You're already perfect. You're no one can do you like you do, and that's brilliant. It's a work of art. You're a masterpiece in motion. And so really appreciate that. Get in that vibe. Leo energy, you pay attention to some Leo, some people with a lot. I mean, I have a lot of Leo, and I tend to just like stand up straighter. There's this, you just kind of have this, come on, life. You greet life heart first. Like, what you want? What you got? You think you want to try to bring me down? I'm going to bring you up. That's Leo energy. And so that's what I get. I feel like this is just bringing in more laughs, more joy, more just more. Now, the new moon is going to be happening the next day, the 4th on Sunday, at 4:12 a.m. And again, that's Pacific time. And as I circle here, the new moon is when the moon and the sun are in conjunction with one another. And that's just, as you see here, that's happening at 12 degrees and 34 minutes. So you want to look to see if you have any sort of like points that are in either the fire signs, because that'll be forming a trine, in the fixed signs, because that'll form a square. That'll be Taurus and Scorpio. If you have Aquarius in your chart that's forming an opposition, there may be some relational things that's going on with that. Maybe society's trying to get in the way of your fun, or maybe there's some sort of a relationship, sort of group, whatever that may be looking like. Now, if you have points in like Gemini, Libra, then that's going to create some opportunities. Again, a good time especially for like Gemini and Libra placements, that would be a great time to look at, again, where you can bring in some fun. Maybe with the Libra or Gemini, you could just go meet some new friends, maybe go to like an art gallery, whatever that may be looking like. To give you an example of how to work with the new moon, because the new moons are when you go to start new things. It's when the ground is fertile. It's limitless possibilities. It's symbolic of a portal for manifestation. The moon sets us up to grow. And yes, you can do it in the month, but it really is really potent when you establish that over those kind of longer periods of time. Give that, it takes 9 months for a child to grow. So now we think about these 9-month cycles that we form with the moon. And so that's what this new moon is about. We're setting that intention, and then we'll check in again, like I was saying, on May 4th. Again, we'll look back at this time and see what has sprouted for you. But right now, we're just planting seeds, thinking about intuitively what comes up for you during this time. The Leo part of your chart is wanting to really express itself, as with the sun being being domicile in Leo, at its being the sun is the Lord of Leo. So, but an example, and this is kind of a little sneak peek here. I'm going to be doing two things. I'm going to be doing a live on on Wednesday, that's Mercury Day, the excuse me, I think that's the 6th. I'm going to put a post in this later today when I'm before this. It'll be yesterday when I put the post out, but I'll be putting some posts on. I'm going to be doing a live on the 7th, and I'll be going over just a few lunar return charts, just how to look at a lunar return chart, what the significance can be for that, how that can help you just kind of navigate the landscape of the month that's coming for you. But I'm also, and this is kind of a little just kind of surprise things for you. So if you happen to be catching this, it'll be kind of catch this early. But when I talk about Leo, just talk about that self-expression and starting up even like a creative endeavor. I've created I'm going to be starting a group here. And it's called we're going to be kicking it in the Lunar Mansion. That's what this group is going to be called. It's going to be, we're meet up for every new moon, and I included a link down in the description box below. It's something that you sign up for, and then I'll go over into more details with this, but I'll send you a link to join like a Slack group, and then you're in the group. It's like once you sign up, you're in it, and we meet up just like how we meet up here, like how we would check back with each, the first quarter, then the full moon, then the last quarter. But this one would be more personal. We would actually be talking about your chart in a group setting if you're able to make it. If not, I would do just like a pre-recorded thing for you, just kind of let you know. I will provide any sort of like key lunar dates. It's going to be really kind of moon focused in this group. We're really just kind of setting intentions there. And just building a sense of community as well. That's one thing that's strong with the moon. And so I just really wanted to build this sense of community, just have us all kind of grow together in a long-term thing. Because, it can be so easy to set an intention during the month. Actually, let me switch back over to before I get over that. It can be so easy to set an intention for the month and then forget about it. So this one is to check back, to keep motivating each other, and just my thing to just kind of give back for what you all do for me, kind of watching this channel, just to get to know each other on just a more kind of personal level. It'll be you would pay for the thing, but it's like, again, you pay the one time, and you pay for the different lunar classes, but it's like once you pay once, you would get a discount for the remainder of stuff indefinitely. Like once you're in, the discount stays. It's just that initial getting in there that you would have that set price, but you would get any discounts for any additional like lunar classes that you would have to pick, because sometimes maybe there's nothing really activating in your chart, or that may not be a focus in there. You could skip that one, but maybe the following one you want to jump on. So it could be, that's how I wanted to keep this kind of open-ended, and to be not really like a subscription where you're rushing. You buy the one time, you and me, we're going to be meeting up 4 times over 2.5 years. That's how long that lunar cycle takes. So we're in it for the long haul, and it's a pretty solid deal. And you'll be getting discounts for any sort of courses that I release as well, and any sort of like readings that I offer. So I'm getting the last little details of those things figured out. But yeah, I will be talking about that more on the 6th. So just a little exciting thing, an example, because this is happening in my first house. And so it's just like, what do I want to start? How do I want to put myself out there more? What do I want to create? And this was something that really was speaking to me. It just kind of really just all came together. I found myself really kind of sticking to this thing. I'll talk a little bit more about it towards the end, but that's just one example of how you can work with this. But again, it's just looking at where this is happening in your chart. And I would say this is a great day for fostering ideas. Because when you think about it, the moon and the sun, let me get back to my drawer here. The moon and the sun would have just came out of a sextile with Mars here in Gemini. And sextiles are when the planets are 60 degrees apart. You can think of it as like that they share the same expression as far as like masculine or feminine energies. And I just don't mean as in just like the male female. I mean more so like active versus receptive energies. And so they get along together. There's opportunities there. There's excitement that sparks there. So this could be, if you've had any ideas that came up during this week, be thinking back, depending on when you're watching this, think back. Did you have any sort of thing that just maybe, I don't know, that just seems like a crazy idea? Write it down. and just sit with it for a little bit, meditate on it, because after these two have this conjunction, the moon will do it first, but they're also going to be having having another sextile with Big Papa, that's Jupiter. And so that can lead to an opportunity for expansion, for growth. And when you're looking at these transits, it's not necessarily, I like to look at it as less as what is going to happen to me, and it's more of what do I want to happen to the world. That's more so. Think of the astrology is the weather forecast and you're the weather. How do I want to show up? This is the landscape that I'm playing in. How do I want to bring it? And so that could be, maybe that could be a way to kind of help invite or encourage during this lunar cycle. Because I think we need, I think we need that. I feel like, again, for me, I feel manifestation is really getting more potent. I feel people are really coming into their gifts. And so I feel like this 2024 going into 25, I think is just going to continue to ramp up. So it's like, let's control where we want that to go. Let's set that intention. And that's what I feel that sextile with Jupiter as it incomes, or as their incoming can form. And then, like I was saying too, we have Mercury is going to be, let's look at everyone's all in pairs, all cuddled up together. Mercury and Venus, they're going to be forming this conjunction soon, and it'll be happening in Virgo, and there's going to be a lot of Virgo influence here too, especially when we move to the moon, when we talk about the next one, the moon in Virgo. There's just going to be, I feel like, a lot of mental stimulation, and I feel that it'd be great to have this Leo moon energy now as a fuel for it, to kind of fuel this thing up, so that it can help you get through this retrograde, so it doesn't have to seem like it has to be like a typical retrograde where I was listening to someone, they're just like, oh, the dreaded retrograde is here. And it's like, stop that. Retrogrades are not dreaded. Yes, there are some tricking things when you think about with retrogrades. Sometimes there's some tech things that happen. Sometimes, speech tends to be a little, but for other people, that is, Mercury retrogrades are fantastic, especially if you have Mercury retrograde in your chart. I actually know a few people that have it, and actually a good friend of mine, their baby's about to be born. Their kids have Mercury retrograde. And I was just like, that's dope. So there can be perks to this as well. But I feel with that energy too, again, just really great stuff, not only for you to start things up, but I feel like where it could be of service to others. It could be something that people could be excited about. Like, oh, that's very practical. Okay, like let's tell me more about this thing. That's just something I feel like to consider there. And I think that's all I want to talk about on this. So let me switch back over here. Well, two more things. I want to talk about the Sabian symbol that this new moon is falling on, and that's when the degree that the sun and moon are at, and this is phase 133 of Leo, and this one is following like literally the degree of my ascendant. My ascendant is 12 degrees, and it's like off a few minutes. It's like my moving on, but it's an old sea captain rocking himself on the porch of his cottage, and the keynote for this is the quieted mind's recollection of crises and joys long past. And I really enjoy this. I feel like this can be a time when you look back, especially I feel like one with Leo, just looking back to that time again when you used to play unapologetically, when we used to have fun, and then when it was a requirement. You remember when it was a requirement to go outside, to go have fun, like go do recess, go play. And I feel like it's recollecting on that and knowing that those joys aren't long past. I can still have fun. I could still have joys. I'm not just in for just a bunch of crises. I'm in for a bunch of joys too. I'm freaking abundant. And so I feel like this old sea captain, that sort of metaphor there is really kind of thinking back, and yeah, you have been through a lot. You've gone through a lot, you've grown through a lot, but you're here to talk about it. and that's something to, I feel like, to rejoice over. There's something to appreciate, that life, that life can't keep you down. Even when there are times that it does seem tough. The sun always rises again. Even when you can't see it in the clouds, the sun is still out there. So I feel like it's, just kind of reflecting, that, thanks to myself. I know that, sometimes in certain situations, it can seem, it's harder to see the other side when you're in something. But remember that you've been on this side before and you've gotten on the other side, and that it's just like the cycle will always repeat itself. Things always balance out. And I feel like that's just something to look forward to. And I really think, too, something nice. Let's talk about the Void of Course before we wrap this thing up. The Void of Course is going to be happening on the 4th at about 9 a.m. And then will be Void of Course until Moon Day, that's Monday the 5th, till about 2:16 p.m. So we're looking at about a 29-hour, 16-minute Void of Course. But I really like this because the Void of Course energy, and I'm working with the traditional planet. So the planet that she last has a conversation with flavors the Void of Course, and she would have formed a sextile with Jupiter, and so that big opportunity, that anything is possible type of deal, we can carry that. We got 29 hours of carrying that. And the Void of Course is a time of reflecting during your time in Leo. This is a time where it's not necessarily advised to start up new things. Write stuff down. Just write it down right now. And then when the moon gets in Virgo, sit with it. See how you really feel about it. And can I actually do something with this? But keep that Jupiter energy to keep the idea supported. Don't dismiss anything. Even if someone says oh, how about you? Have you ever thought about doing such and such? Entertain it. You don't have to you don't feed too hard into, or try not to feed too hard into. But if something sparks, if there's something there that's even if it's a soft nudge, it's just you know what, let me just explore that, follow that, see where that takes you, sign up for that thing, go to that whatever, stop by that thing. But something about this, the way we're starting off this energy, it just wants us to, I feel that universe wants us to really kind of start off with a big cushion here, kind of start, I don't know, just really kind of wants us to fill our cups in a sense, and not really worry, not necessarily about, we're not forgetting, because we have things, things that we need to take care of and whatnot. But it's just remembering that the only time that matters is the present. That's where it's what I do in the present determines my future, and my past is already done. It's just what am I learning it from that and applying it again now. So I love this new moon. I love how this is starting off, and we will again check in on this at the first quarter here to see whatever intention that you started off. And this doesn't have to be something that you start up right now. Give it some time. Maybe in a couple of months, maybe, think about this area of life. Again, mine was happening in the first house. So it was really just kind of, and again, happening on my ascendant, this was lighting up, just giving me new life and giving me this sense of inspiration. And yeah, I'm just rolling with it. I may not necessarily be starting stuff off right this second, but it's the things that felt in the moment to start. I'm yeah, let's just do it. Let's do it and let it grow. Let that puppy grow. So, well, I guess in this case, let that cat grow. But you get what I mean. Now, if you were born with your moon in Leo, that's a lovely place for a moon. I find that Leo moons, even in times of kind of going through some things, they can, I feel, lift themselves out of it. They do, I feel, have fire moons tend to just have this natural effervescence in life, this natural just kind of, there's this charisma I feel that comes with the moon in Leo. There's this real kind of regal I even feel sense of this moon in Leo, just of knowing, you're feeling that solar energy. It's like your body's been imbued with that. The moon can be associated with the body, and it's just like, yeah, I really like when the moon is Leo. This could be someone who is, again, very creative, and again, whatever creativity looks like for you. So I would say whatever that is, tap into that more. Maybe you like to tap dance. Maybe you're great with animals. Maybe you're great with tarot or whatever that, or maybe just cards. Just like maybe you're great. Leo can deal with that gambling energy. So, but also Leo moons. I feel like taking risk on life. Allowing yourself to just have some fun. Allow yourself to shine. So just something I feel like to think about with that energy. And if you're curious about how to work with these energies a bit more, you wanted to see how these planets are maybe transiting through your chart, what things that they're bringing up for you, where the focus is at, what's Saturn, what stuff is Saturn cooking up, or where's Mars giving you more energy, or where's Jupiter wanting to expand, where's Venus wanting you to strengthen your relationship, to bring more love into your realm, book a reading with me. And if you're curious about just the services that I'm offering, you just want to talk to just see what would be best for you, I have a link down there. I have the two links, the one for the consultation, and I have one for the sign up for the lunar class, for the new moon Virgo lunar class. And I'll just be talking about that more as I talk in these videos. So, but all that information is down there, and it's a great old time. I like to set aside, I have different time frames, of course, but I like to set aside at least an hour kind of talking. We get into some really beefy stuff, just kind of talk about the chart, talk about how we can work with the transits, maybe even get you looking at your houses differently and looking how you're working with the stuff. I like to bring in a bit of like a traditional flair with a mix of the modern stuff here, because there's a lot of meat in the traditional stuff that, yes, there's some rather fatalistic things in there, but when you're combining the two, I found has been very rich. And one thing I wanted to talk about too is that I'm going to be bringing in that other group, I'm going to talk about, so I've been doing a lot of research into like nakshatras and things, and that has been fascinating. So that's another thing you'll look forward into, because I'm not really I feel like I do a lot on this one, so that's going to be another little special one if you come to the lunar mansion, because the fun fact, that's what a nakshatra is, a lunar mansion. You get to learn all about that. So yeah, if any of that stuff piques your interest, check that down in the description box. And then last little things, these readings that I do, they're not descriptions, they're not gender specific readings. So apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situation. How lovely. We're going to start off this new moon with some rainbows here. You got the rainbow dragon. Look at this. You got the sun coming out from dark times. And now we're painting the sky here. That's you. Painting the sky. I like that. Bringing more color. The rainbow dragon brings the leap of joy that opens new doors. And this card says, have trust, rediscover wisdom, expect miracles, and accept opportunities. And that's basically what I was saying. So doubling down on this, that opportunities things, that's that sextile that's coming up with Jupiter. That's this energy this moon in Leo energy. This is the time, again, to feel that these miracles, expect them. They're your birthright. These things, and there's enough miracles to go around. You don't got to worry about taking from miracles from me. I got mine. I got mine. You got yours. So let's all be in ours and get yours, and have trust. Have trust that whatever you want to manifest, that you want to create, it can come into bloom. It does take time. The beautiful thing about these cycles is they give us a marker. They give us time, because sometimes if we were to get everything at once, we may be overwhelmed, not sure what to do to it. That the energies gives us time to grow into these things. But we have to set that intention. Set the intention and then let go and let God. You'll just know what to do with the rest. I've even just like, for example, just setting up the whole course thing, I'm like a little, I was like, I'm gonna feel a little out of my element here. I'm like trying to host this group. I'm like, okay, what am I gonna do for this? How many people do I think what do I feel like I have the capacity for? All of these things. But I have trust. I know that everything's, I wouldn't be having this idea if I wasn't supposed. It's all a part of the divine plan. And so this is you rediscovering your wisdom. Rediscovering that I feel like sometimes too, when we're uncertain that things aren't going to, how things are going to go, I feel like maybe sometimes we expect that we're going to fail, but you've not known how things are going to turn out this whole time. And you're doing, again, you're here to talk about it. You're here to talk about it. So that to me got an A in my book. So it's like keep this momentum here. The sun is peeking out. It may have been some storm clouds here. There's always storm clouds, but there's always sunshine. And it's what are we doing with these storm clouds? And storms can be beautiful. It's a matter of perspective. Let's get some tarot on this. All right. Let's divine self. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. Oh, okay. So there's Aries here, the Emperor, the King of Cups, and the Queen of Wands in reverse. And then you have the Two of Wands and the Three of Pentacles upright. Let's talk about the Two of Wands, because this is Mars, speaking of Aries, this is Mars in Aries. And so I feel that this leap of joy, this new doors, this feels like the Two of Wands could be like this crossroads card. And I feel like it's just like, which way do I go? Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I go back to, it's almost like with where, I'm thinking about even where the North Node and South Node are right now. North Node's in Aries, South Node's in Libra. Maybe we have felt that we've always needed someone to be by our side, but now it's time to take an independent effort. It's not that you're not going to be supported in what you're doing, but I feel that this Three of Pentacles here, this could be a card of collaboration. And I feel like it's you kicking off. It's not necessarily you jumping on your own or jumping on someone else's project, but maybe starting up your own type of thing. Maybe you're wanting to go for regular like swimming classes, for example. I'm just thinking with the King of Cups, and you make these type of proposals here, doing something that you want to do. Maybe you're the type that tends to plan everything, and now you're just like, hey, what do you like? Just one example that I'm just kind of coming through here. But this Emperor, with him being in reverse, I almost feel that's interesting. I'm almost feeling like maybe some don't want to make a move here, or maybe even like afraid to make a move. Because even though this dragon, I feel, is coming, kind of sweeping over this storm here, it almost looks like he's going back into it. And I'm almost feeling an energy of like, if we make this step, that maybe we may go back into something that it may not get, maybe won't get the fulfillment that you thought it would get with the King of Cups. And then it's like, then what am I gonna do? And we just end up in this place of kind of freezing here, kind of fear with the Queen of Wands being in reverse. But I feel with all this kind of, because for me the Queen of Wands is Aries, and with Two of Wands Aries, there's something here that is wanting you, even if it doesn't yield what you thought. I feel that there's always, if we release expectations, things can turn out to be more wonderful than you had even expected it to be. It could fill up your cup in a way that I just feel like you couldn't imagine. But I feel you have to accept that, allow that opportunity for growth, or maybe even allow that opportunity, that's interesting, allowing the opportunity for maybe your disappointment, again, that expectation. But then if we were to look at it look above the storm, it's just like, oh, well, you know what? Maybe this didn't go as I expected, but prior to, I was just kind of in my own rut. I was just in this thing, and maybe you're the type that you don't like to go out to a crowd, and you went to some event, and yeah, you went just like you thought. You didn't care for it. But you know what? You got out though, and you got to get some air, and it was just like, and you learned something too, like maybe I'm not for that, but along the way I noticed this kind of cafe that looked really quiet. I think maybe I want to go there, and you discovered something. So it's just like that's kind of the examples of what I'm really kind of getting here, of how this energy may come out. But go with joy. Go expecting that good things will happen for you. And I know how this may sound. This may be the Leo in me, but or some of the I have Leo rising, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Venus. So and Jupiter's on my ascendant's on my Jupiter. So it's like I know where I can be very optimistic, but I'd rather. I feel like it's not. We don't ignore the storm. Of course, the storm is there. I've been in the storm. I've been, believe it or not, been in the storm. But there's. Let's get some more on this. I even am getting a feeling too with the Three of Pentacles that maybe even some, with that being a collaborative card, maybe even some people might be able to open some doors for you here. This may be something that maybe you can't do by yourself. You might need some assistance, but the thing is you don't have to do it by yourself. That's even something too that's coming through with the Emperor. So, okay. Explain itself. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh, interesting. All right. A lot of strong Martian energy here. So here's Mars. We got the Tower and the Judgment card here, which is Pluto energy upright. And then you have the Six of Pentacles and the Six of Wands in reverse. In the Six of Wands, that's interesting. This feels. I almost feel like there's this energy of not feeling accepted or not feeling elevated, maybe by your friend group, maybe by your community, maybe in general, maybe you don't feel uplifted by your guides, maybe you feel like I'm getting a lot of or at least that's the feeling that I'm getting. And it might not be. And it might be this feeling because, or if you're feeling this thing, I feel like that's what the Tower is coming through for. Because something is needing to change. Something deeply is needing to change. With the Tower to the Judgment card, we're coming up at this place here, the Judgment. Maybe you're reaching because this is the second to last card of the Major Arcana train. And then we get to the World, and then we start all over again with the Fool. And it seems like we're reaching this point where something needs to give. And I feel like it's not necessarily, not wanting you to give up. It's more so that knowing that there are more ways to change a situation than you think, that there's more assistance out there and that more people could support you than you think. That's interesting. The Six of Pentacles, it's almost, I feel like, allowing yourself to receive the help. I feel like maybe. I feel like sometimes we can get used to being stuck in a certain energy because it gets comfortable. Because it's just like something else. It's just, it's a really unique thing. It's like this mind game that I'm getting. But the Six of Pentacles is like, being open to the idea that something good can happen for you. Now, good things can happen, but I think good things are happening for you. And trusting that even when that miracles will happen, that's like, I like that expecting miracles, I just feel that there's something here that is just not what you may think it is. I didn't expect to get divorced or feeling like I wanted that to happen, but something was, I couldn't tell you. It was just like I had just a feeling, and I couldn't explain it, but just something. Everything in my body is just like, you need to do this. You need to do this because how you're doing things, it's not flowing anymore. Your back's against the wall, and it's not. See what that means? Saturn's the strongest, like probably one of the strongest planets in my chart. So it's like if I'm not working with Saturn stuff, it's like it may not be too well. So and after that, like yeah, like have things could I have looked at this experience as just like a whole whatever, like of course, but there were plenty of miracles abound even amongst some of I've lost a friendship and gained so much more though. I gained so much more. I don't even look at that I lost a friendship. A friend and I came to the conclusion that we needed a break. We're growing in different directions, and we had to figure out what that means for one another. And so that in its but that allowed ourselves the space to grow. Sometimes you need that time, and I'm even learning to appreciate that. That doesn't mean that I don't stop wishing the best for them, or still acting, sending out good vibes like they're. So that's been something that's an opportunity for me, and that's allowed me to rediscover some wisdom here. But yeah, I feel this judgment here, this tower is not to judge or trying not to judge what we may have expected something to go. Maybe it's like you wanted things yeah, let's get some advice from the sun. Yeah, because it could be a number of things here, but oh, interesting. Very interesting. Thank you guys. So you have the All That Glitters card here. I say interesting. Let's switch back over. And I say interesting because, one, this is a 16th card, which is Tower energy. So big push, I feel, for change. To expect all this abundance to come in. All that glitters is miracles. All that glitters is this opportunity here. But I feel like it's these miracles in things. Like let's say you're needing like a bunch of money or something, for example. Like let's say this miracle, it may not be a whole bag of money just falling in your lap, but it might be a contact with someone who can help you get the sources that you need to get on track, to set up something, to get along the lines. It could be someone telling you about a resource that you can go get this for to help get some sort of like spending patterns. It's just an example. But I feel that when we think that, there are things that are going to fix a problem here or something. It's like almost like this, all that glitters is like we're looking outside of ourselves for gold and things. And it's like all the gold is here, all the stuff to accomplish these things. Yeah, it's all here. None of this outside of us would be possible without this that creative spark. Something started that here. That's what that opposition energy is about. You manifest something, you get this idea, and you put it outside of yourself. And so this to me, it's like I'm thinking of this affirmation. It was just, oh goodness, it's just like, look at the wonders before me. Just where, as you're just looking around you, look at the wonders before me, and I'm just like, I'm looking at this all tarot and this all this stuff. This is like, what? But yeah, just allow yourself to be marveled by the world, and everything that's going on. Allow yourself to be not not to be like, it's like I'm not getting like an escapist thing, but come with a place of, I feel like, accepting more joy. Like it's very interesting. It's almost this energy of surrender, but it's this energy. It's not surrendering that you're gonna lose everything. It's surrendering. It's like just letting the abundance come, and letting it come in divine timing, and knowing that things are always gonna show up right on time. So. Very interesting. I'm with this. So I really am. I got a sense that this new moon and the moon's going forward. We keep setting these intentions. Things will be glittering in the way that you want them to. But if you like that, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share this if you know someone who's been just been needing to leap at the leap at the door with joy. That's so. I love that. I love that came out. And then subscribe there, you emperor. Hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos. A lot of emperor energy coming out. Notified of these videos each day. And then last little bit, if you're wanting to know about the celestial chit chat, where how the other planets are talking, come over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly videos there where I talk about just that, the different transits that are going on. What are some ways that you can plan on working with, set intentions to the energies, not what's just going to be thrown at you. You know, that's something, because that's something too. And I feel like this is what I've been really kind of learning with working with like the nakshatras, for example. It's really feeling the energy and what is the energy allowing this to do, what is the energy supporting right now. I even think about when like working with like the birth, working with like your natal chart, it's like, yes, this is like kind of who you are, but it's more so like the tools that you're coming in with, you know. So it's like, and how are these tools working for you? What's, you know, what's needing to be strengthened? What do we know how to use? What do we need to maybe dig into? Maybe really great at that Jupiter Venus stuff. Now let's get good. Let's get great with the Mars and Saturn stuff, and then let's make it more well rounded. So that's even how I've been kind of thinking about this stuff, but I feel like that can be, letting maybe coming with that intention can be more positive, can be more supportive. You feel more supported that the energies are happening for you as opposed to you. So, but yeah, I do all that over there. And I also, which I'm about to get back on there, is I do these little videos too. I just kind of release them. There's no real rhyme or reason. And they're just like planetary placements and in the planets in different signs and different houses, and yeah, check that out. It's a good old time. And then again, all that information is down in the description box below. But, let me get, I don't think I planned this out. Let me get you a surprise card here so I can get you out of here. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's like, wait a minute, that's a clarifier pile. Yeah, the Hermit in reverse here. The last one I had I did the last one differently. We're getting it together. But the Hermit in reverse. This to me is, for some, a need to, it's like finding that trust, rediscovering that wisdom, knowing that when one, I mean, it's cliched, but when one door closes, another one opens. And if you've been feeling just like this, not been feeling this sense of things been going your way, or haven't been, almost like maybe you've gotten to where you're denying miracles. You know, I feel that this just gives you a time to reflect on, have you been, you know, why, not how. This is a tricky one. Because I get it. I do. If that's something that's resonating, I do absolutely get it. And it's finding those things that can help break that spiral, so that you know, when you feel yourself spiraling, how do you put that block in it so that you can turn it into an ascension instead? How do we come and see it from a higher place? It's like, I find, you know, when something's going on, it's just like, all right, why is this happening? What am I meant to, I heard someone talk about this, I really kind of like this. It's just like, okay, what am I meant to learn here? What is this trying to teach me right now? You know, in this lesson right now, really get present, get grounded. And I feel when we allow ourselves that energy to come in, we get the answers that we need in order to move that bar forward. So, and I love that. That's Virgo, the Hermit here. So if you feel stuck or if you feel blocked right now, this retrograde, and that's Virgo's retrograde. This retrograde, I think, will help you get out of your head and help you get into this and help you get inspired. But I feel like in order to get out of the head, we have to get into the rest of the body. So getting out there, maybe moving in some sort of way, maybe straightening up some things, you know, I find when you're just in stress, cleaning some stuff up. Cleaning up can be a great starter. You know, like let's just get the clutter in order, you know, just something. And then, you know, you start tackling things, and then you start feeling more accomplished. You start celebrating. Oh, that's interesting with the Six of Wands too. Celebrating the small wins. Celebrating the small wins, and they're going to equal. Small miracles will help you get ready for when the big miracles come through. So, you know, If you can't appreciate the small ones, it makes that harder. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. Not too bad for a Mercury retrograde. It was getting no fun because I tell you it's been getting trickier and trickier as it gets closer. But hopefully you enjoyed that. But until the next time. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking. I was like, F. I don't think I have the book over here. Well, I wanted to start reading an affirmation for you towards the end of these things to kind of send you off. But I think I'll read this one because this is the one I read right before I get started. So I'm gonna send you off with this one. So the affirmation is: Infinite Spirit, open the way for the divine design of my life to manifest. Let the genius within me now be released, and let me see clearly the perfect plan. And I feel like that's very, very appropriate with this Leo energy. So go out there and be, your perfect self-expression. Go out there and just let's see you shine. I'm with it. Raise that vibration to the roof. Seize the day and the night. Keep eyes. Well, you can't keep eyes on it right now. Feel that moon out. Sense that moon. And I will catch you. Oh, when am I going to catch you? On the next one. Moon Day.